This is Projects and Politics with Fully Loaded Co. Welcome, y'all. So the first set of questions is Fully Loaded. Can you explain what the Fully Loaded brand is all about?
Yeah, so me and my business partner Kelly, we've been friends since diapers, literally. And when I started Fully Loaded, it was just a cannabis company. I knew I could make a lot of money selling cannabis, and I wanted to bring him in to be my partner just because I knew he had, that business mind. He knew how to talk to people. He had a lot of connections on the East Coast. He went to FAMU, so he know people from Florida all the way up to New York, all the way over to Atlanta and Texas, all the way back up to DC. So, when we started it, we always had the mindset of just making the experience with Fully Loaded just that. Like, everything you do with us, everything you get from us, all the interactions, we want to leave you with a certain experience.
Right.
And that's been our motto from day one.
Okay. Yeah, that takes me into my next question. How did you two become business partners? How did you guys get into business with one another?
So, I pitched the idea to him, and he always had a creative mind, so he was just like, what? What? Hell yeah. And he worked with cannabis before. I'll let him go into that. But when I pitched it to him, he like, bro, like, hell yeah. Like, the creativity side of it, whatever you need from me, I'm here. And I'm like, I don't just want you to be a part of it. I want you to own this shit with me. Like, whatever I take home, you take home.
Right.
Type of shit.
That's solid.
So, and then just being friends before that for years, we fell off a little bit because he was in school and I was doing my thing out here, and he was living in a different state. So, the connection wasn't there. But when he got back to LA, we started to, get back to the old ways, hanging out with each other and shit like that. So it made it easy. It made that transition from being friends to business partners so much easier because he is somebody I can trust with, the brand and pushing it forward.
What pushed you into the direction of starting a cannabis company, and at what point did you realize the clothing would pair so well with it?
So, I was literally sitting on the couch one day in my apartment, and I'm like, bro, I'm just tired of being a teacher. Like, I don't want to teach kids no more.
Right.
One, they don't pay teachers as well as they should be paid. And then two, it's like, I have too much creativity in my head to not put it out to the world.
Right.
So, I was just like, I'm going to take all my tax money and I'm going to just 5 pounds of weed. Real shit. And I'm going to brand it to where people are going to start fucking with it. So I sent Kelly 5 names. He chose Fully Loaded. I sent my brother 5 names. He chose Fully Loaded. I sent the other homie 5 names. He chose Fully Loaded. I'm like, it just flows.
Yeah, it clicks fast.
So we started in the middle of the pandemic. March.
Before the pandemic.
Yeah, we started
before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic, but we ended up going public March 6th, 2020. So we was literally the only company that I know at the time that was doing deliveries. Not on a larger scale. So anybody in the city, because all of the dispensaries and shit, they was getting shut down and shit like that. Like, you could only really go to Cookies and other little shit, but even then they were closed because of the pandemic. So, we was 2 a.m, we dropping off 14 grams to somebody. Like, we was getting every delivery at every hour of the day. So
definitely pulled up on me late night.
So one day Kelly like, man, we should put Loaded on a t-shirt. And I'm like, hell no, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to be the person selling t-shirts. I want to be like, hey bro, like, $25 t-shirts, like, come fuck with me. Like, the weed is gonna sell itself. I ain't gotta really do too much if you got quality product.
Yeah, for sure.
But he kept pushing me. He like, bro, like, let's just do it. Like, put it on a t-shirt. Like, we already here. You might as well do it. So we went to look for blanks and shit. And then after that, it was just like.
I think we went to, we was on Main and Pico. We went to this one little spot, and we were already doing the shirts. But then where it really kind of turned was they had like these sweaters.
The pastel, the first pastel.
We had the little green, we had the beige and stuff. And once we seen it, it just kind of clicked. It was like, yeah, this is kind of what we got to start doing too.
Right.
To pair with the, you know, just to kind of, because everybody was selling weed. So it was like we just had to figure out a way to kind of separate ourselves from
and then to add on to that, it was just like, now looking back, it was like the clothes, because I've always knew, just like our old heads and shit like that, they made a lot of money in the streets, but they knew how to clean it. They knew to invest in that other shit, and that was always my goal. Make enough money here to put it in here, and then put it here, and then put it here. But I never thought to put it into clothes until Kelly
actually spoke on it.
And now looking back, it's like, damn, that was a smart idea, because we're not just like, it's a difference between a clothing brand and somebody selling merch. In the beginning, we were just selling merch. Like now we transitioned to a whole clothing brand.
For sure.
And we took it to a level to where it's like, when people see me now, they don't say Chambon or Western Ave. They like, Fully Loaded is here. And that shit means something to me, because we built it up to where now when people see us, they recognize us as the brand.
As the brand. Definitely.
That definitely leads me into my next question. Every piece of your clothing has been very original and on brand. Do you guys sit down together and come up with the designs? How does that process go?
Yes. It's hard, because you don't want to feel like you copying people or biting off their style, but it's so many people that, you know, are making clothes now, and we all get inspiration from like Virgil and Ruji and like all those people. We get inspiration from those type of people, but when we come together, it's always like a collective thing. It's like, I'll bring an idea to him, and if he's feeling it, we'll add on to it. If not, we'll scratch it. We might come back to it later. It's a lot of shit we got, bro.
I'm already
like, we ain't even
I'm already know.
Shit that's like, damn, bro, you remember when we talked about
waiting to drop
just waiting to drop, bro.
For sure.
Or just get sidetracked.
So we it's always a collective thing. We get inspiration from our childhood. The shit we grew up on, him going to FAMU, me going to CSUN. We're actually going to do a Loaded University fashion show for our 2-year anniversary, but we're basing it off of his experience at college and my experience at college. And then we're coming together, we're creating an athletic club, a golf club, a book club, like just certain shit you deal with in college, being there on a day-to-day basis. So everything we try to draw from our own experience, but take inspiration from other people and put our own twist to it.
Try to tell a story.
What would you say is the biggest lesson you learned about the cannabis and clothing business within the first year or so of your operation?
Cannabis, just dealing with all the state laws and red tape and trying to get help, trying to get the right help, and just, you know, you're gonna always hit a roadblock with trying to go legal. So you just gotta keep like going forward, trying to figure out, you know, any loopholes or any type of information you can get. You know, it's like you just always gotta be searching, stay on top of whatever website, states, government site, whatever, they update stuff, they gonna try to update on the low. And then just the whole injustice as far as like our community and stuff, how they shun us and how they like try to, you know, block us out. And then you see, you know, go over on the other side of Pico and you see all these dispensaries and weed shops, and just even the content you see, like white people just having fun, and not just white people, just anybody just having fun with weed, and
just free.
Everybody who, you know, sitting in jail for cannabis, you know, just kind of seeing that, and it's like bittersweet, you know, us being in our position and then still seeing how like everybody else is thriving except for the ones that really should be able to, you know, play a part in it. So, you know, just even taking on that responsibility that we kind of have to be, you know, not even a spokesman, but just like, you know, people, we gotta like lead by example as well in this industry.
And for the clothing side of it, it's just, you know, like never giving up. we hear it a lot with everything Nipsey was pushing, but it's like life really is a marathon.
Yeah.
Like we come up with ideas, we drop certain shit that we thought was the one,
Yeah.
and it was like people don't fuck with it as
Yeah,
much
they
as
don't
we
respond
thought.
how you thought they would respond. Yeah.
Right. So, and it takes me back to even what y'all was like. Y'all was way before y'all time. Like,
Yeah.
that West Side Story shit.
Yeah.
You know, nobody was doing this stuff that y'all was doing.
Right.
So I still take inspiration from what, like, I go to y'all page and shit.
Yeah.
And I was on it before you got here, and I was just going down your Instagram page. I'm like, damn, like he still got shit up.
Yeah, I don't delete shit.
From 2011,
yeah,
bro.
It's
like,
a time capsule.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember when we was at the beaches at the bonfires and everybody coming up,
Right.
you know, functioning with each other. So, just, you know, never giving up, believing in yourself, believing in your dreams.
Mm.
If people don't see that you believe in it, why would they?
Right.
So, you know, we stick to it. We get back to the drawing board.
Mm.
We find different ways to promote.
Yeah.
We like to do commercials for every collection.
Yeah.
So
Content is dope.
the content, not really. I don't care about making money right now. It's all the experience, being creative. I like, you know, expressing what I see in my head or
It's
what
a
I
thrill.
feel. Yeah,
feeling.
I love that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I love it.
I hear you. Yeah, that's a beautiful feeling, bro. I ain't gonna lie. How has the transition from working a 9 to 5 to being the head of your own company?
Yeah, I seen I don't know if it was a TikTok or a reel. It was like, I told myself I don't like a 9 to 5, but now I work 24/7. What the fuck was I thinking or something like that? Like, it's, bro, I swear to God, Kelly don't sleep like at all. He works. He got a 9 to 5 and does this and does other shit. But me, it's like I literally jumped off the porch with this shit. It was like, I'm not going back to working a 9 to 5, like at all. Whether I got a lot of money or nothing, bro, I'm going to figure it out because I've always had the hustler mentality. I've sold chips and juice in school, so I've always had that entrepreneurship inside of me. But at the end of the day, I did have to take care of my kids, so you know that for sure money is always good. But the transition has been a little hard at times, but like I'll wake up, bro, like 4 a.m. and start working on designs. And at 6, I'm sitting to you like, bro, why are you up? I'm like, nigga, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. I'm working on shit. Like, so when that 24/7 shit, that's so true because it's like you don't want to lose an idea.
Right.
Because if you don't jot it down, if you don't start working on it,
so much going
bro, my notes is crazy. I got collections and capsules that just come to mind and just write it down. I'm like, okay, I'll get back to it sooner or later. So it's a little hard because you work for yourself. You make your own schedule. You like sometimes I don't want to come to the office, but I have to because if I sit at home, I'm not going to get nothing done.
Right.
So and then I don't like with Kelly. Like you said, he works at 9 to 5 still. So
yeah, I mean my transition is I'm still trying to transition full time to this, but just time management, man. Like knowing how. Really just planning that schedule like 30, 60, 90 days out. Like that's what we was planning before 2022 was like we got to start planning ahead. Like the whole year.
You see the whiteboard?
6 months to a year. Like especially like now that with fashion it's like everything is like a year ahead. Like real like fashion, like year fashion. Like if you see the fashion show, it's like always a year ahead, couple seasons ahead. So it's like. We've been trying to get into that mode too, is just being, you know, ahead of trends, ahead of the season and stuff like that, and just having our shit planned out. You know, because these months been coming by fast. Like, I mean, we almost through January, you know, so it's like, you know, so whatever plans you got, you better have them, you know, laid out so you can just hit those, you know, those targets and stuff. Because even though you got this going on, you still got real life. So it's like that shit, you know, is kind of when you got to handle some real life stuff, and it's like, damn, I need to finish this. You know, I got a deadline, so just juggling those tasks and time management. So
yeah, those real life situations are crazy when you run into something like that.
For sure,
that's really insane. Are you guys interested in doing any collaborations with any other clothing brand?
Yes, we are. We've been talking to Trap House. We're probably going to drop something this summer. It'll be like a fully loaded trap house type of thing. That's one of them, just because I grew up with them. You know, they close to home.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a few other people that have reached out, and things didn't, you know, our schedules didn't work out. But it's a lot of people that brands that I look at and like, damn, like it'll be dope to do a collab with them.
Yeah.
But you know, everybody got their own
timing and everything.
Everything. So you know, we are open to it. If you're out there and you want to do a collaboration with Fully Loaded, you know, just slide in my DMs. We can put it together. I think it's smart because we get to bring two communities together and then feed off each other. So it's definitely a great idea. I was kind of against it my first year just because I wanted to have that authenticity. I want people to
make a stamp.
Yeah, I want people to see Fully Loaded and want it because they wanted to, not because we collab with
the next
such
man.
and such. You know, I wanted it to be genuine. And so, but we definitely are open to it. Yeah.
As of now, do you guys grow your own operation, or are you guys going through vendors?
We are going through vendors for the cannabis. And then for clothes, we use a couple of vendors out of the country. And it's difficult. Like some of the stuff I ordered in October, they sent some of it, some was back ordered. They shipped it, but then took it back. So I've been emailing them consistently. We dropping it January 28th. So it's like, when the fuck? So it's extremely difficult, but that's the type of shit that you have to deal with when you do have your own business. Like, you know, we own other people's time when it comes to, you know, getting our products. Starting next 2023, we're going to do a lot of cutting sew. We're taking sewing classes and stuff like that. So we want to just get through this year with, you know, using other people's blanks, but starting next year, we're definitely going to, you know, touch that side of it.
That's dope. That's dope. Even more money in.
Right.
Do you plan on launching your own strain of bud?
Yes, for sure. Most definitely. We are working right now. Our lawyer for Fully Loaded, we're going through the process of getting our license and stuff like that. So by 2023, we're definitely going to have our own strand. And, you know, the goal for us is to get a brick and mortar for both. Right next door to each other. So we go on Melrose and you'll see the Fully Loaded Cannabis, and then right next door you'll be the Fully Loaded clothing store. So that's the goal. Not necessarily Melrose, but you know, in that area somewhere. Foot traffic, we ain't really gotta depend on having people come out that know us personally. Like, no, we just want to put it to where a lot of people want to be, you know, coming in and out.
That's beautiful. And to wrap it up, is there anything you guys want to let the people know?
Just expect just a lot of creativity, a lot of content. Just a lot of stuff that you got from us the past couple of years, but just enhanced, just bigger, better. You know, so I think you guys gonna enjoy what we got coming in this next year. So,
and just shout out to everybody who has been supporting us for the past couple of years. It truly means a lot. We wouldn't be able to do none of this without y'all. I promise you. Like Kelly said, just expect a more enhanced version of Fully Loaded, and you know, be on the lookout for our fashion show. It will be in the beginning of August, so we're going to start pushing that in the summer. We're going to do a Fully Loaded yacht party this summer. New flavors for the loaded lemonade. Just a lot of things. Our whiteboard is filled up, and we plan on scratching everything off by the end of this year. And big shout out to you, bro. I love what you're doing.
Most definitely.
Keep doing your thing, for sure.
All right, that's it, man.